Okay, so before I begin this video, I just want to send out my heartfelt condolences to the family of Pele, the nation of Brazil, and to be honest, the entire footballing world. If you're watching this and don't really know much about him, I heavily encourage you to do your research, cause believe me, the man was something else. I mean, it's hard to describe in words, but for the younger viewers, I'll just put it like this. You and I can argue about Messi and Ronaldo all day long, but in truth, there is a genuine possibility that, at the end of the day, we're both simply wrong. And in saying that, while he may only arguably be the best ever, he is undoubtedly the king of the beautiful game. Rest in peace, Edson Arantes do Nascimento, aka the original GOAT of football, King Pele. So the narrative out there is that Cristiano Ronaldo had a terrible World Cup and deserves to be in the worst team of the tournament. Now, while he had far from an ideal time out in the Middle East, if you're over a certain age and understand how all this works, I'm pretty sure you'd know that most of the negative hyperbole used around this topic are, to say the least, slight exaggerations. However, since none of the numerous nonsensically narrow-minded, neurotically naggy and noxious-natured, nasty, nameless, naive nitwits with nominal nay no noteworthy knowledge known to be my supposed audience seem to be over the age of 21, I guess I'll just have to dumb this down for you, as usual. So let's start first by assessing why his performances have been so negatively exaggerated. And in truth, this is primarily down to two reasons. One, even more so than before, his recent antics has, consciously or otherwise, made people out there anticipate any and every failure he may have so they could gang up on him. Get a life. And two, his career rival winning the entire thing just makes him look so much worse in comparison. Cause in reality, Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup 2022 showing really wasn't as bad as you think. And here's why. So once again, no one's saying he had a great tournament, alright? But considering most of you Japsides actually think it was a disaster, let's start from the very beginning to prove that it wasn't. So in the first match against Ghana, despite coming off the worst form of his life, it was Ronaldo, no one else, who opened the game up by winning the deciding penalty and subsequently breaking a 65-minute deadlock in the opening game of the tournament. Go and listen to any former professional footballer talk about this. The first game and first goal at a major tournament is crucial, because considering how short these competitions usually are, the first goal is most of the time a huge tone setter. Perspective, people. Now for the second game. Sidebar. This counts as a big chance missed? Motherfucker. Are you serious? The only reason this was even half a chance is because this guy carries springboard under his f***ing feet. Seriously, rating apps. Now for the second game. And this is where all the confusion is. And there really shouldn't be, because he was good. I mean, he completed the most key passes out of anyone in the game. He completed the most overall passes out of the four forwards who started the game. And his decision making was on point. Again, he was good. But for me, not even for those reasons. As I said, rating apps. I only use this stuff because you morons seem to be obsessed with statistics and shit. Whereas in the practical world, where football is actually played, he was good because of something not only do these robotic sites and by extension you helmets give him no credit for, but apart from Alessandro Del Piero and David Villa, I haven't heard any ex-pro mention it either. And that is, of course, the hair of God. Cause you see, despite turning more people against him by doing his best Harry Kane impression, you really don't help yourself, do you, mate? Let's not forget something. He was the only reason that goal went in. I'm sorry, but since my comments are filled with Messi fanboys, let me put it to you like this. If your idol was given credit for assisting Enzo Fernandez with this, Ronaldo in turn should get a lot more credit for this. Even I could have made this pass, but Bruno's first goal versus Uruguay would not have happened if it wasn't for Ronaldo. Fact. toss. So far we have one quiet game with the deciding moment coming from him against a challenging opposition, and one good game where he unlocked the defense once again against a team who only conceded one goal from open play in 3 outings. This one, I'm sorry, but so far, this is a good tournament. But then, yes, came the career game where he was admittedly awful. So let me get this straight. You are going to conveniently ignore him deciding 2 vital games because he wasn't good in a meaningless game while playing alongside a second string of players against a side fighting for their World Cup lives? Perspective? People. Because again, I'm sorry, but when all is considered, even after the conclusion of the group stages, this has still been a decent tournament. But then, something happened which fed the trolls and mama's boys even more. Ronaldo was benched by Fernando Santos, and though controversial at the time, boy did it pay off. What a performance. But then... Okay, how did no one see this coming? Even I predicted that Gonzalo Ramos starting against a defensively organized low block Moroccan team will not work. And I can't even predict what language I'm currently talking. But yes, Ramos started, was completely marked out of the game, and the Moroccans advanced. Again, nothing to do with Ronaldo. Now I know what you're thinking, but he had 40 minutes to change the game against Morocco. And you know what? Since he is the greatest big game player of all time, if you hold him to those standards, you may have a point. But since most of you have completely ignored Ronaldo shifting the momentum of 2 crucial games on his own, let's look at this from another angle too. You're counting on a 37-year-old man who's in the worst form of his life, was already lacking confidence, which was worsened after he was dropped for an unknown player, to come on and change the game against the best defense of the tournament who've just shut up shop, while Lionel Messi, who is 2 years younger and on hot form, couldn't do that against a nowhere near as defensively solid Poland side in either equally or a little less pressure situation, and had to rely on his teammates to save his tournament? Perspective, people. I mean, if you started Ronaldo against Morocco from the beginning and therefore given him the confidence and backing, then yes, fair enough. Because as he showed against the likes of Ghana and Uruguay, even in the worst form of his life, Ronaldo is almost impossible to keep quiet for the entire duration of a game when he's playing in a 2 against a rigid defense. But under those circumstances, seriously? And to conclude, let's indeed put these things into perspective once and for all. So CR7 in Qatar 2022 had 1 average game with the vital contribution, 1 good game with the vital contribution against one of the best defenses of the tournament, 1 terrible performance in a meaningless game, and 2 helpless appearances from the bench. None of the games his team actually lost while he was on the pitch. I'm sorry, but in what world does that equal terrible? Because in the real one, that's below par. And trust me, there's a clear difference. And ultimately, if you are someone who agrees a player who's delivered every time he was back from the beginning in crucial matches being named in the worst team of the tournament, then you, my friend, just don't have it. Have what you ask? Say it with me now. Perspective, people. And that is that. Agree or disagree beats indifference. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and share. Gain some perspective in life. And of course, subscribe. Till next time, you keep rolling.